HBO might be best known for producing hit series like The Sopranos, Westworld, and Game of Thrones, but the pay cable network has consistently churned out quality television series far beyond its most popular programs. Some of its finest works have been forgotten by time, even though many of them still hold up. If you're looking for another old show stream to fill the void until all those dragons and theme park hosts are back in action again, here are some of the hidden HBO gems you should take a look at. Angels in America. When it debuted back in 2003, Angels in America was a unique television experience, and it still is. The 6-part miniseries was adapted from the 2-part play by Tony Kushner and tells the story of the AIDS crisis through a magical realist lens. The miniseries centers on a gay man whose partner abandons him after he's diagnosed with AIDS. As if that weren't enough of a burden, he's also visited by an angel who declares him a prophet. The series features an all-star cast that includes Justin Kirk, Ben Schenkman, Mary Louise Parker, Emma Thompson, Al Pacino, Patrick Wilson, Jeffrey Wright, and Meryl Streep in multiple roles, including a brief stint as a male rabbi. Bored to Death. There's nothing else quite like Bored to Death, a comedy that began in 2009 and ran for 3 seasons. It stars Jason Schwartzman as a writer who decides to distract himself from the daunting prospect of his next novel by becoming an unlicensed private detective. Zach Galifianakis plays his best friend, a comic book artist, and Ted Danson appears as an older friend and mentor who edits an acclaimed magazine where Jonathan writes.
Oh my God. I have completely failed at the most important thing in life.
Jonathan doesn't take his detective work all that seriously, having learned everything he knows from Raymond Chandler novels, but as the series goes on, he gets involved in some surprisingly dire situations. This show isn't for everybody, but if you're a mystery fan or enjoy comedies about overeducated stoners failing at things, it might be for you. Carnivàle. HBO is known for its ambitious original programming, and Carnivàle is a show that aimed incredibly high, but never got fully off the ground. However, that doesn't mean it's not an interesting oddity worth a watch, especially for fans of dark fantasy. Set in the Dust Bowl of the mid-1930s, Carnivàle is about a traveling carnival, but it's also a supernatural battle between destined avatars of good and evil. When the series started in 2003, creator Daniel Knopf intended it to tell one complex story over the course of 6 seasons. Unfortunately, HBO only ended up giving it 2, so most of that story remains untold. The Comeback. This Lisa Kudrow comedy ran for just 2 seasons but spanned 9 years. The former Friends star stars as a shallow and self-centered 90s sitcom star trying to make a return to the fame game with a new sitcom and reality show. Unlike Phoebe Buffay, Kudrow's new character is obsessed